First and 6. Bitter cold and another round of snow.
It is a statewide event.
State officials warning of busted pipes and slick streets and telling everyone to stay put.
We're going to give it everything we got with everything we got.
We're tracking the weather impacts from the roads to Atlanta's airport.
We probably should have left about 2 hours earlier than we actually left to get here today.
It is totally crazy, but hopefully I'll get through it and get my flight before long.
Coverage of our 11 Alive weather impact alert continues now.
Right now, we got a live look at Athens. You can see some of the snow falling. You see all the accumulation on the rooftop and the streets as well. And right now, folks, there is an emergency declaration in place, and several school districts have been canceled for classes tomorrow. And you can see those scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
We have live team coverage for you tonight. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb, along with Melissa Nord and Danielle Moss, tracking the snowfall and the conditions out on the road. So let's get you to Chris.
And we are definitely seeing those impacts out there tonight from the snow. Now, many of you in North Georgia and West Georgia not seeing any snow at all. That cutoff line has been roughly along the I-85 corridor where we've seen most of that snow. But you'll notice here that that cutoff line is moving down to the south of us, and all that snow is going to begin to move out. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about the snow falling from the sky. Whatever is on the ground, though, and whatever is slick out there is going to remain slick this evening and into tomorrow morning. You can see we did have some snow in Atlanta a little bit earlier. And again, it was pretty much along that I-85 corridor, a little bit north of that for a brief period. And now that's all moving away from us. And we have been seeing on our tower cams that snow that was at a high rate a little bit earlier is now tapering off. Most of the snow, the accumulating snow, has been on the south side. And that is also where we've been seeing most of the issues here with the travel impacts. And this extends all the way back down to the Gulf of Mexico here, where you see along the Florida Panhandle, more of the snow there in Panama City, Destin, 38, getting in on that snow, as well as Mobile and New Orleans. All of that is going to be pushing away during the nighttime hours tonight. Take a look at this tower cam. This is down at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've got a lot of snow there that is on the infield and along the racetrack and the outlying areas. The reason I want you to see this is not just because of that, but the snow that was falling from the sky earlier at a high rate is now tapering off. So this is confirming what we are seeing on radar. We still have some snow, though, coming down in Athens, more to the east of the city, where you see the snow on the grassy areas there in North Campus, also trying to build up on Broad Street a little bit there, right there in front of the arch where the snow is still falling. It will be ending there soon as well. The other issue that we're watching, Hartsfield-Jackson, a plane coming in right now. The snow has ended there. The visibility is a lot better, but we do have snow and on some of the side areas there. We saw the trucks. Here we go right here live. Here you can see some of the plows on this runway taxiway area right here where they are getting that snow off of the runway, and we're still dealing with those delays reported by the FAA at 81 minutes. Numerous flights have been canceled out there as well. So a lot to watch tonight, as well as those temperatures, because Melissa Nord joins us right now. And Melissa, even though the precip is ending, we still may see these problems exist through the evening and overnight.
Yeah, and that's because the temperatures are going to turn colder in the overnight, and our road temperatures are already below freezing across the entire metro. So if you're seeing snow outside, it might look pretty, but as we've been reporting and seeing very clear evidence of in some of our live shots, the roads are turning very icy very quickly, and none of this is going to get better until road crews have an opportunity to retreat the roadways and the sun comes out tomorrow afternoon. So current road temperatures 26 along I-85 down in Coweta County in Noonan, and 28 in Troup County, even out in Henry County. We've got a Hudson Bridge Road, 30-degree road temperature, so very cold road temperatures, and that's why we expect the road impacts to be the biggest impact from the system. It's not a whole lot of snow, but where there is snow, there are very dangerous travel conditions. One of those snow totals, about 3/4 of an inch in East Spalding, so not far from Griffin, is coming in from one of our 11 Live Weather Impact members on Facebook. Mercy sent in this photo. If you have weather photos, you can share them with us by joining our Facebook group and join the conversation on there, Chris. But in the meantime, snow is still lingering east of Atlanta and creating very slick travel.
And Melissa, so important what you just said there about even though the snow amounts are on the low end, the impacts from even a small amount of snow are high. high because we've seen a lot of slick roads out there. You showed us the road temperatures. These are the actual air temperatures right now, well below freezing, 23 degrees right now in Atlanta. We're going to be dropping even more during the overnight hours. And of course, with all that said, with all the moisture in this cold air, it is causing a lot of issues on the road. Danielle Moss joins us right now. And Danielle, there's a lot of action on your map.
Yes, there is a lot of action. And really, Chris, as you see these bridges and overpasses, this is really the worst areas that we're seeing right now with the backups and the pileups because those ice before the regular roadway. So keep this in mind. If you have to, some people have to go to work, but if you can, stay at home. Here is a look at our metro area traffic map. It speaks volumes because you can see exactly where the snow cutoff was. You can see exactly what places got snow and what places did not. All of the green moving towards Sandy Springs, Marietta, going towards Mableton and Douglasville. All of that is green because they're not seeing any impacts on those roadways. However, if we take a closer look onto 285, you can see multiple accidents that have populated really in the last 15 or 20 minutes. All of this red becoming a problem on Highway 78 into Cobb County. And then if we take a closer look down south going towards Peachtree City, this one accident has been working for at least 2 hours. What's happening, some of these emergency crews cannot get to the cars because they are sliding. In fact, one of our crews left and came back and they said they saw an ambulance using the shoulder as a bumper. That's how slick it is outside. So you need to make sure that you are using precaution and only leave the house if it is an emergency tonight.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much. 11 Alive also on the ground tracking the weather conditions out there on the roadways.
Yeah, that's right. So that's where we're going to find 11 Alive's Molly Oaks. So Molly, where are you right now? I believe you're in Atlanta, but what are you seeing so far?
Guys, we've kind of gotten the full tour of Georgia today. We started in Macon, then we headed over around the state through Coweta County, and now we are back in Atlanta. I want to show you what we're seeing right now. These are actually the worst roads that we have seen throughout our journey over the course of the day. We're watching cars that have been struggling to get up and down hills. Some people just ditching their cars and getting out and starting to walk. We're going to give you a look at the roads. Take a look at the front of our car here. But this is what we're seeing. We're seeing snow covering ice roads because unlike the interstates that were treated, these back roads were not treated. Now, once again, I want to remind you, I am not driving. I am operating the camera. My photographer is driving and he is born and raised northerner, so he knows what he's doing, unlike myself, who was born and raised in Southwest Florida. This is a look at what the roads are from our tire camera. So if you can see it, there's that slight dusting of snow over top ice. That's where we're seeing people really struggling. Throughout the day, we've noticed people's back tires spinning out when they're trying to get going. We've also noticed on the interstate, there were a couple of accidents. We saw at least 3 multi-vehicle accidents and then a handful of cars that seemed to just kind of slide off the road as they were awaiting emergency vehicles to get help as well. Here's another look at the front of our car as we're heading through Atlanta. Again, we were near Piedmont Park heading into the Virginia Highland neighborhood. Once again, main roads seem to be treated and doing well. It's these back roads that we're seeing where we're starting to see people struggling because again, it's snow covering that ice as we stay below freezing and it's getting really cold and we're starting to see those cars starting to struggle going up and down hills. That's where we've seen the biggest impact in the Atlanta area. Guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Molly. You know, we've been seeing these problems throughout Metro Atlanta, especially with the road conditions out there.
Yeah, we want to get out to 11 Alive's Angelina Salo. She's in Piedmont Heights, that neighborhood there in Angelina. State officials have been warning people to stay off of the roads. But when we checked in with you in the last hour, we saw folks really struggling out there and neighbors who live in that community having to help.
Yeah, and it was really, really hazardous out there, guys. We did speak to people that live in that area that told us that those roads actually were not treated. So no salting, no brining, no nothing. And that creates that sheet of ice that we were seeing there. And a lot of different roads that are within the Midtown area, because that's where we're located right now, off of Piedmont Circle and Lambert Drive. This has also iced over here, too. So you can even see the ice from the lights, the street lights here. Everybody that has been coming by has either been driving super slow or driving with their hazards on, or they've just completely stopped, feeling like, okay, my tires aren't gripping. This is a hill that they're going to have to go down, so they just don't know if they're going to be able to make it. We did see an APD cruiser riding around, checking around the roads and checking to see how people are doing. As you can see, this car that's coming down right here, you know, they may or may not have the four-wheel drive, but they know that they need to drive slow and have the hazards on, given the fact that these roads are so icy. Something that Chris also spoke about too is the fact that we didn't get that much snowfall, but the fact that the roads were so cold, it just made everything kind of stick and not melt away. That's what's going to become a hazard overnight, because everything is going to turn into ice, especially if the roads haven't been treated. And that's why the city of Atlanta is telling people to please stay off the roads unless it's absolutely necessary. You really shouldn't be out here today.
Yeah, hopefully they heed that advice, Angelina. Thanks a lot for the update there.
Yeah. As we head to break for you, we want to take a look at some of the photos that some of you have been sending into our newsroom. You can text your photos and videos to us using the number you see right there on the bottom right hand of your screen. It's 404-885-7600. Make sure that you send us your name and your location so we can share them on air. Thanks so much for those of you who are safely sending us your images.